Hey, good night, good night, good night. Welcome again to another episode of Fortune's Fitness Lifestyle Podcast. As the year comes to an end, I just want to say thanks everyone has been supporting me. It has been truly a nice journey I've been on. And tonight again, I have another amazing guest. Right? She provides particular lab service, blood work, and she's on tonight to explain the kind of service she provides. So, without further ado, let's bring out Miss Anisha Braffett. All right. Good night. Good night.
Good night. How are you?
Good night. I'm fine. It's good to have you on Fortress Fitness Lifestyle Podcast, where we introduce all kind of professional on this platform and the kind of services that I provide in order to reach the people out there who need the services that the guests usually do, right? Because sometimes everybody don't really hear about the services that some of the guests that came on this platform, do because they're not big and then the social media is, there's so much thing happening. So at least when they tune into this platform, they're getting it live, direct, and truth, right? So, Anisha, what I want you to say is, first of all, let us know the kind of services that you provide, and then we take it from there.
Okay, so thank you for having me once more. And Gentle Touch Mobile Phlebotomy Service is really a service that provides blood collection directly to you. So instead of going to a lab or a health center or hospital, we bring the service to you, whether it's in your home or your workplace or wherever convenient. We take the blood sample, carry it directly to the lab, where the lab will process it and send the results directly to you, whether it's your email, your WhatsApp, if you want to print it, you get it. So that's basically it. It's us bringing the lab to you rather than you having to hustle and go to a health center or go to a lab. You know, we make it
Ye-
easy.
I like that service because me personally, I just go and do my blood once a year. Take time off from work. I had to go sit down, draw, then go by the next place. They will tell me to take the blood to come back and report. That for me who fit that tedious. So I can imagine for someone parent, a grandparent or a mom who, not too mobile and to move around. I think that service is excellent. First time I've actually heard about it. And I, yes, first time I heard about it. And
Yes.
yes, no, it's fine, it's fine. It's right. So first time I heard about the services, and I just want to say that it's an excellent service. And first of all though, I want to ask you, what made you really came up with this idea to provide that service?
Well, I work in healthcare, and I've observed too many times where patients will come to the health center, the hospital, and they will have to wait long, they'll have long wait time, right? Sometimes they have mobility issues, and either they're on a wheelchair or on crutches, and they find it very difficult to come into the health center and get their test done. Sometimes the patients that will even come at all, they will miss the appointment
Mm.
because they're too sick to get up and come to the health center, or they have a 9 to 5, a 8 to 4, and they just cannot make it. Yeah, so I saw the challenges that patients were having, and I decided that let me see what I can do. I'm a registered phlebotomist, and I decided that maybe I could fill the gap here. And also, I have a very close friend who, during the COVID time, she would have also provided this type of service on a smaller scale, but she provided that type of service. And I was kind of intrigued about it. So, observing her and then observing what was happening in the healthcare system, I said, you know what? I could fix this. I could fill this field here. And that's how Gentle Touch was born.
And I like the name though, the gentle touch. I mean, how the name came up though. I understand the idea came from for the services, but the gentle touch came up. How that came about?
Yes,
Oh, all right, all right, all right. No, no.
yes,
Before we
yes.
go further, I would say for me, I free needle. For those who know me, and this is kind of something I like. Go, all my friends go, mama guy, right? There was a big trauma like you know. I free needles, right? So usually when I go test like draw blood, I just look away. I
Yeah.
just say afraid needles. I doesn't mind getting injection, or they're pulling it. It's just that I don't like to see the blood pulling out, you know?
You're not alone. There are many people that feel that way. In fact, there are people who genuinely have phobia against needles. It's a real thing. They afraid needles with a passion. You afraid seeing the blood. It have who afraid the needles. Yeah. So I can understand what you're saying here.
Yeah. So when I last test I went actually this year, so I did just before I met you. So at least now next year I could call you and you can do your thing. And I
And you
will actually.
and already
Yeah.
observe you have some nice veins.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that because what happened is that I just find it take so much blood to do just like 4 vial. Why? I will ask you this question, which I always ask those persons who ever drawn my blood. One glass or whatever pint or whatever it is called. That one can't test all the different things.
It's according to what blood test. Every um, container has different blood tests to go into the containers. So if you
Oh,
notice, it have red, purple,
yes, yes,
green,
yes.
right? Different blood tests. So you cannot just draw one to do all the tests that the doctor asks for, right? For instance, the glucose will go in the gray, right? A CBC will
Mm.
go in the purple. The red is more like for renal and um, liver tests and all these kind of things. So it's different containers for different tests. So if your doctor asks you about 5 or 6 tests in different um, containers, you need to get more blood.
So, mhm. So the gentle touch is really your hands. You have gentle hands when you're doing that.
Yeah.
So we could tell you the viewers now, or they could send it out to say, you know what, when you're doing that, don't worry yourself. It'll be just like, you could watch a show while she's joining, she's so tender and gentle that you're not going to feel anything. So I could tell my friends that.
And that's the thing, I make the patient comfortable first. So it's not
Yeah.
like you're in a lab, it's a rush process. We have a patient behind you. We have about 10 patients waiting outside. So we don't have the time to sit down and take time with the patient, right? But when you
Yeah.
know, coming home to them, you're in a relaxed environment to start because you're at your own environment area, right?
Yes.
And I make you feel comfortable. We talk, we laugh first, we relax, and then I will explain the process and everything to you. But once you relax, then we draw blood. There's no rush in the
I
process.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So when you come, you just come in and say, "Give me your hand." You're
Yeah.
coming home and making them feel comfortable. You're talking, and then you explain the process, and I think that is actually a good approach, and coming to someone home. I mean, you want to kind of make them comfortable, always in their home,
Yeah.
because people have this kind of phobia in the sense of, when they go into a hospital and nursing home or clinic, they just feel it's have a kind of stigma now, like it's sick, everybody else. At least you're home, so at least you should feel more comfortable. I will feel more comfortable actually, so again, to me, that service is needed, especially now. I can imagine on COVID time, but now, whereby we still have a lot happening, I think this service is supposed to be plastered all over Trinidad and Tobago because there's a lot of, not just because of sickness, disease, something like that, but there's a lot of ageable people who have a lot of conditions who
Mhm.
home, and some don't really have the support system in order to go and get their checks and especially the blood work done, and they may hire a car, and, it's a lot,
It's a
right?
lot.
So this service must be this service must be, spread all over Trinidad. It must be out there. I want to see this service, and I want to see Gentle Touch all on billboard, and when I drive in, because no, and I serious, because it's needed, because and then the country. Let's be real. The country is not as safe as before,
Yeah.
and if you could get someone like you coming to someone home and do that, it's saving, to me, you're saving on gas, you're saving on a lot of things when you
Yeah.
do the comfort of your home. Yes, it's a cost, but when you study the hassle, the inconvenience,
Yeah.
whether you're driving, or your daughter or your son crying, it's still a cost. Then the process, you had to wait, and it's a lot. I think you know, for time, for inconvenience, all of that. I think that service is excellent, And based on what you're saying, you had a touch. So, I mean, we'll put that to the test because after this podcast, I mean, we're going to my editor myself going to put you in the magazine also, but we're
Yeah.
also going to invite you to some of these symposium and things that I'm having where you can express your services
Right.
for people who really would need it. And I'm really glad that I met you because your service is actually unique. I've never met someone, and I've been throughout Trinidad, most of the symposium and wellness seminars and symposium, apart from me having my own, and I've never bounced up someone who doing that kind of services on mobile or coming to your home. So that service is really excellent, and you have my support 1,000%.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
so what is the procedure to for someone to get on to you? What is the procedure? Walk me through the procedure.
Well, I'm on all social media platform, right? So I can be
Mm-hmm.
reached. I can also be reached at 480-6725. You can just call. And if it is you have a blood request from a doctor, you can just WhatsApp it to us, and we will go through it, send you the price that the lab will be charging you, and then send you my price. Once you agree to it, we come directly to you and we get it done. No hassle.
Yeah, that sounds smooth, boy. That sounds hassle free. So from the all right. So let's say we get over that. Let's suppose I am the customer and I'm
Mhm.
okay with the I'm okay with the lab course, which is
Mhm.
obviously separate. I think everybody know that. And then your service. You come, you take the blood. What is the waiting time for you to come back to bring the results?
Okay, so that's the thing. I don't bring the results to you. I give the lab
Okay.
all the information. So the lab
Yes.
have your name, date of birth, address, phone number, email address, WhatsApp, everything.
Uh
Right?
huh.
After they process the test,
Yes.
then they send the results straight to you.
Oh,
Right?
so you don't bring it back by the customer?
If you want me to, no problem. Now, some
Okay.
people may not want you to see their blood result. Remember, this is confidential thing. I don't
Yes.
necessarily have to see your results, right? If you want me to, no problem, right? But the results go straight to you from the lab to you. Yeah.
All right. So all right, so you cry to the lab
Mm-hmm.
will do their thing, and you say the lab will send either email the
Email,
results,
they'll WhatsApp the results,
or however
um,
you want it, right?
however you want it. If you want a copy, I will just collect the
Mhm.
copy sealed in an envelope and drop it back to
Yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah.
I think that is what I wanted to hear. So
Yeah.
at least the viewers could understand, and
Yeah.
they could really have a feel for how it is work,
That's
because
true.
people have a lot of questions to ask. That's why I asking it
Yeah.
in this forum. So now, I mean, you've been doing that for how long?
I've been doing it for almost 2 years now.
All right, and how has it been so far?
Um, I must say a little bit of marketing issue here because a lot of people don't know about the service.
Correct.
So, yeah. So you see platform like this, or even the
Mm.
healthcare we've met,
Yes.
people was really intrigued when they heard about it because they don't know about the service, right? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
this is where I have a little hiccup, right? It's just advertising, marketing the service. So
Well, I am, well marketed with you as far as I go, and I'm going places. So, wherever Fortress go, a member of the movement, because
yeah,
what I do is a movement that have a lot of professional in this movement, whereby we, just like yourself, we're on a mission. Everybody that I'm meeting you, we're on a mission to really help people and provide a service, in whatever niche one decide to venture down in. So at least, on my page on Facebook, you could always put up some flyers and your services there,
yeah,
right? And so at least people can see your service, because social media actually is the way forward, but
mhm,
also platform like this is important, as you rightly said.
yeah,
So for what I ask is though, for yes, it might be a little slow, but for the one or two or the few that you had,
mhm.
can you think of any kind of memorable or moments or fun moment, or wow moment when they went to do one that happened?
Well, all the families that I've dealt with today are really close to my heart because they really enjoyed. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say they enjoy getting sick, but it was, it was really a nice experience for them. Um,
uh,
one mother even told me, she said, "Girl, I always avoid coming in the health center to get my blood taken because I see this stress. I know you're able with this and this pain and this anxiety, but she said you made me feel so comfortable that I don't mind going. I don't mind getting my blood taken every 6 months." I was like, "You go, girl." I was so happy.
yeah, and then I know you have the personality because I met you in person, and you had the personality, and it was excellent. And I mean, so I had to get you on my podcast. All right. One of the things I want to ask again, another thing I want to ask again is that, apart from the marketing and getting the brand out there, what are some of the other challenges that you might be facing or you face in getting your brand more promotion or promoted or being more aware outside in this country? What are the challenges you face outside of marketing? Is there any other challenges you face?
Um, we have a culture where people love freedom. They love
that,
freedom.
that is Potter Trini, right?
So sometimes when you give people the price that the lab is calling for, they would kind of pull back. Yeah, well, I'll message you next 2 months. I'll message you when I get the money. That kind of way. So it kind of holding them back from taking care of their health too because of costs. But what it does always remind people, we as a people, we will make sure the hair done, face done, have the clothes on point, shoes on point, everything. Externally, we on point, but you have no idea what's going on inside. So spend the money and take care of yourself. You understand? Because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And most of the times when your body tells you something is when it was brewing for a while. And your body now start to show signs of it. Right?
Correct.
Because
Correct.
it's happening all the time, right? So
Yes.
if you take the same money that you're taking to you
Mm.
understand, and spend it on your health, then I mean, come on, you'll be so much better as a overall person and a holistic person.
Well,
You know?
I'm so, yes, I am so glad you said that, because that's what I preach every single day on all the platform, my magazine, everywhere that I go, I speak on wellness, mind, body, and soul. And I listened to you just now there, and I now see how I did song because they say actually the same thing in the sense
Yeah.
of the importance of putting yourself first
Yeah.
with everything else that we put first, because we have a tendency to put everything else on the most important list except
Mhm.
ourselves, and that's we as a people. And because of that, we usually pay the price down the road, rightly
Yeah.
you said, and we always say, um, eating healthy or taking care of myself, going to do a check, that expensive, there's a cost, and I don't have this bill, I don't buy this and buy that.
Yeah.
But there's a phrase I always use, and I'm going to use it here for you, is that when you're healthy, you have hundreds of problems, right? Hear me out. When you're healthy, you
Mhm.
have car bills, home bills, groceries, children, books. You want to go on a trip, the job. You have all kind of things, to do. You want to climb up the corporate ladder. You want to buy this nice dress, but you're saving up to to go on a trip and all of that. You have
Mhm.
hundreds of problems that you're trying to battle with. But guess what? One disease or one sickness, right, come along, and all of a sudden you have how much problem?
Just that.
One, right?
Hmm.
So I often say this to people, you know, prioritize yourself. The same things you put as priority, envision yourself as one of those things you put up there as well. If you like your external, you like to do under your hair, you like to go by the barber, you like your fancy dress and your fancy suit, and for those who run brand and all of that, that's fine.
Hmm.
But put aside some attention to take care of your health from the inside out, not from the outside and trying to get here. Because that is the right way of a holistic approach to wellness. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. But there's an uphill climb in this country, because I can tell you, I just talk to a lot of people and it's like, you know what they say? I know a Vic boy, but there's always a but coming after when coming to taking care of your health or making health a priority in this country. But there's never a but, as you rightly said, to save up your money from now to go and play carnival and spend $6,000 or $7,000 in a costume that you could hold in one hand and for 2 days. And I say it as this: I don't compromise when coming to health and wellness. I would say what I know is happening in Trinidad. It doesn't matter who vex, who don't vex, it doesn't matter to me, because it's the truth. We have to change the way that we think in order to have a better lifestyle when coming to our health and our wellness. I ain't saying nobody could, you could party, you could play your mask, and all that is fine, but take priority in taking care of yourself as well. You know, take your tests annually, especially men. Men have this thing that, you know what? I see you giving the look there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I see you giving the look there.
Even
So
yeah.
yeah, so give me a story. What do you think about the men now? I started, but the look that he gave me there, I wanted to say something. But men.
Even yesterday, I was talking to my both brothers. All right, you see this PSA test?
Uh,
This PSA test. You see your face, right? Gone was the time when you have to go by the doctor and you have to do it manually. A simple blood test.
I did mine this year again. So I'm not one of those guys.
You see,
And I've been it
once
a
you
while actually.
once you reach that age, I think the age is around 40. Once you reach that
40
age,
years. Yeah.
yes, get that test done. My dad died from prostate cancer. He didn't have to.
Yes.
He didn't have to. I always tell people this story. When he died and we were cleaning up his area, we found referral letters from doctor. We found blood test letters. We found stuff that he was supposed to be following up at clinic and he did not, and it was hidden. My mother didn't even know he was in the clinic. You
Yeah.
understand? He
Yeah.
wasn't taking care of himself. He didn't have to die at the age he died. So that's why I always encourage to please go get your test done. And you don't have to have something to get a blood test done, right?
Correct.
Because
Correct.
you don't know what's going on inside. So
Yes.
early detection is the key
Yes.
to resolving any health issue for treatment and survival. Early treatment, early detection, right? So even STD testing, sometimes a simple thing like a CBC, a complete blood count. Check and see what's going on. You never know. That alone can tell you what's going on with your red blood cells, what's going on with your white blood cells. Do the test, right?
Hmm.
You don't need to be sick and lie down on a hospital bed to get your blood tested to see what's going on inside. Check out your liver, check your kidney, check it. There are basic tests that could check this and detect if something is happening inside. So, not men
Yeah.
alone, men too.
Yeah. I think that the black men, correct me if I'm wrong, or men of African descent, I think the percentage is higher when coming to
Yeah,
prostate cancer.
that's right.
And whenever I have conversation with men, let's say on work, there's always this phobia. I could talk for the African men, black men. They have this phobia doing that particular test. But as you rightly said, time has evolved now, and they have via blood tests, and you don't have to do the physical, which was the big stigma again that men had, right? So for me, and I can say this, I've done the physical once some years ago. I have a doctor, one doctor that go to every year for the last 10 plus years, and I've been doing the blood after, and everything balanced it right there, and I get over that hurdle of
Yeah,
men ego, and as men we had to put down our ego and do what is right
yeah.
to save our life down the road. And it took me a while to back then to say, you know what, enough is enough. Yes, I'm gonna take it like a man. And I was telling a friend of mine that, even the physical test that I did back then, it was what, less than a minute of, you know, and after that I felt like I win the lotto, because I said I did it, and everything was like okay. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a good feeling, So again, I think men will be a little more comfortable knowing that you coming home to do that particular test with the blood and crying to the blood, because men, I don't know, we men, we little stubborn too, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, I wouldn't pick up, I wouldn't pick up for men, but everybody who come on this podcast have a why. Every single person. I've done a lot of um, interviews here on this podcast from last year to this day, um, almost 2 years, and everybody who come on this platform, no matter what services they're doing, what they're selling, when it comes to health and wellness, something drove them to start whatever they do. And what motivate? I know you mentioned you realized there was a gap in the system for that
Yeah.
services, and I agree with you 1,000%. They are a gap, but
Mm-hmm.
was it related to what you mentioned with your dad, or what really motivates you?
You see, I have a passion for helping people too. I've been in healthcare. Um,
Mm,
I've observed a lot of things over the years,
mm,
and I really like taking care of people. And if this is one aspect that I can do it
mm,
outside of the hospital environment, outside of the health centers,
mhm.
I I really want to do so. So that's what really motivates me. Yeah, to help
Okay.
people. Yeah,
That's nice though. That's good. And you're doing something that you love actually,
yeah.
and you have a passion for it. I can see that. And
Mm-hmm.
again, when I met you and how you was expressing the services when I met you, and it was, you was doing your thing, it's like, okay, she loves what she do, you know. And there's a lot of people, especially in that field that you're in, you'll hear people say, not all, but a few, I'm just there for the money. I really like, but when you like what you actually do, I think there's a different approach. And I can see why now you call it gentle touch, because you love what you do. So you're doing it gentle. Because I've heard stories of, not all, but, some of the nurses in certain hospitals, um, whole stories. I've never happened with me, but those stories, some could be a little aggressive, when people go to this institution. And I often say this, and I'm not pointing at nurses. I love my nurses. I love all my government workers. But just like all institution, private or government, there's good and there's the not so good, in the sense of it's not really the organization, it's really the people. Because I do believe that doesn't matter what uniform you put on, your character from inside will usually come out and show
Yeah.
based on what you're doing, and that's fine. So the how can you think? How do you think you can improve apart from marketing? That's something different. But if I should ask you how do you think you can improve your services if it get overwhelming, like again a lot of calls and again a lot of would you have to
Higher
hire
stuff.
someone? Yeah,
Higher
that's it,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Hire staff,
Higher
right?
stuff.
But do you think that one of the things that when multiplying your services like
Mhm.
business, especially business that caring like that, getting staff to have that gentle touch like you. Not everybody will have that gentle touch, eh? So
Well, believe it or not, I already have people on standby for just in
mhm.
case.
Okay,
Because
that's nice.
yeah, because I operate in the Shogunas and the surroundings, the environment, right? So let's just
Yeah.
say I get somebody in Sanford, or I got somebody in Arima. I need
Hmm.
to have people on point who could go directly to those areas.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
already connected with persons, so I can just make a phone call and say, what day are you available? I need to get this done so and so. And I have
Okay.
people who are already committed to such. And I know them personally. So I have no fear as they're going to abuse my patients, them no. No.
Okay.
They would be as gentle as I am.
Okay, well, that's good to know you have people already on standby while the business is on the up and up.
Yeah.
So when you get your location, and I'm saying it into being for you for 2026, when you get your gentle touch services location, and you have your staff and your people there, so you're just distributing, you're just sending out people to different parts of Trinidad every day to get that. And I actually see it as I speak. These services, how it
Yeah.
how it actually and plan out, and that's really um, really amazing. And again, so if I should come to you, who or someone should come to you who's not in the medical field like you are in, and they want to start a business like that, what would you say to me without the knowledge? I just do it as a business, and I probably will hire um, people, to do it like nurses or whatever. But I am just a financer, and I find it's a good business to get involved in. I
Mm.
just, what would you tell me in the
So
sense of
you're
advice?
you're an investor. That's what
Um,
you're asking.
right. I just want to. No, not me. I just join a
Mhm. No,
reference.
no.
Right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talking in general here. The person is not an
Yeah.
investor. They just want
Yeah.
to invest in business.
The person want to not invest. The
Mm-hmm.
person want to start up a business like this. Yes, I know it will
Oh,
be a competition, right? But I'm just saying, what would some of the obstacle you will tell them? It could be a friend, a family, one of your person who working for you now down the road. What would you tell them? Advice you will give them?
well, firstly, this person have to be a registered phlebotomist to start with. You can't just
Right. Yeah.
open a business like this, like that, right? Remember,
I,
this is
yeah.
healthcare, right? So you have to be trained and certified to perform these duties, right?
Yes.
Then
Hmm.
obviously your business must be registered. Then you have to connect with your maker, make it for the secret here in
No, no,
Canada.
no, no, no. Don't give me the steps. I don't want the steps. I don't want the steps. Right. What I was saying is that, in the sense of, you know, if somebody come and talk to you, but they can see that they don't have they don't have the passion, or they just feel
Yeah,
that it's easy and they want to make a quick buck,
no,
but not really the steps to register and all of that. I mean, like, what you tell them, like, I would have advised, going into a business like that, to look
mhm.
out for, or what they should have, the personality, the gentle touch,
You need to be
that kind of.
passionate. You need to be, yeah, you need to show that form of compassion when it comes to people. Even though you're just drawing blood, right? You need to have a skill, this skill, right? You need to be trained to do it. Yeah, you can't just walk into the field just like that.
Yeah, that's what I say, because in this world today, someone looking at the outside like, what, I feel like they might be in the health field, in the medical field, and they're just not as passionate as you, they're not as caring like you, they're not as loving like you in the work that you do, but they seem to be, just how it have good tradesmen, bad tradesmen, it have good mechanic, not good
Yeah,
mechanic. So I'm just saying is that, it clearly, listening to you, I can tell already, and meeting you, I can tell already that you actually have a passion. That is you.
yeah,
That is you. So, and that's fine, and that's excellent. But unfortunately, sometimes, you know, some people, open businesses, and they're more looking at the dollar than the
you know,
service.
yeah,
Clearly, I can tell, you more into the service, because if you have a passion to help people, just like myself, because this journey for me started because I have a passion to help people, and I've seen a lot of people, including family members, die from a lot of lifestyle diseases. So,
yeah,
I really encourage and I preach throughout, not just in Trinidad, but podcast which is all over the Caribbean and by extension the States.
mhm,
And preaching what I'm preaching, trying to, really help people to make that change, change the way that you think, and it ties into what you're doing based on what you said earlier on, whereby, you know, put yourself first, and so putting aside and saying, I'm gonna do that test next year. And when next year reach, I'm gonna do it later on in the year. And then when that time reach next year, and that's what people think, and that's what is happening.
they
And I
keep
think,
putting it off.
yeah, they keep putting it up, because I think we are people. Um, we only get serious when we start to feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when we just realize, all right, I had to go now. I've been pushed, you know, especially men, you
Yeah,
know. So that's why I'm so impressed with that service, because it really, really could help the ego, and the up there, and they want to go here, because a lot of people, and some people don't like crowd too, you
yeah,
know, and so that service really has to be um, multiplied. White Jewish honors, but I think that the service itself, need to be more, as you rightly said, broadcast and promoted and marketed throughout the country, even in the country and all, where people, transportation a little kind of tough,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So, partnering with you, I think partnering with you to do the my symposium, I think we should come together because I have a couple coming up next year, 2026, and I
Mm-hmm.
think and I usually go in health centers in
Mm-hmm.
communities because that's where the sick people are,
Yeah,
and I think a good idea to help market your stuff based on what you do is to go places like Tamana, Kalparo,
yeah,
um, all those kind of rural areas
yeah.
where we have people needing, not wanting, needing
Mm-hmm.
that kind of service, but because of how far they are,
Yeah.
it's kind of nearly impossible to come to the health facilities, um, close to them or whatever it is. So we
Even the
have,
nursing homes, even the nursing homes and elderly homes and these places, these are the places I would love to connect with also, because there are patients that are bedridden, they're not mobile, they can't move, but the doctors come into the homes and see them, but how do they get their blood test done? So
um,
yeah.
go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
So these are places that I also love to connect with to expand on the business too and help out the communities.
Well, what I could say, I actually live next door to a nursing home
See?
right now,
Yeah.
and the person's there, and I have a very good relationship. The owner, I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gonna do for you, um, and well, I know the daughter and I have friends, and she watching this podcast. So because a lot of people just watch my podcast and get services from the podcast based on the guests that I have.
Yeah.
So and you're correct, the nursing homes is actually supposed to be a big market for you because of the kind of people there, the old age homes and those kind of clinics. So what I'm going to do is pass on the information and your contacts and your services to her,
Okay.
and because she had actually took a nutritionist that was on this platform for that same old age home to write up some stuff for her. So
Okay.
your services is very crucial, and again, this podcast and others to come, because I think next year 2026, you could come back because I have some doctors just come back twice, 3 times for the year. It just to keep promoting the self, spreading the word and
Yeah.
of health and wellness, and that's important because it can't be a one-time thing. I'm doing this a while now, and it will never stop because people just don't put their health as at first as priority. So
Yeah.
that's why your service is so important. That's why the job that I am doing and other people like us is so important because we I just always say, if I could, my message could reach, if it reach 20 persons and one person could change their life, I'm okay. Out of
Yeah.
20, if I get one, I'm okay, right?
Mhm.
Because we are so high in with these lifestyle diseases. Over 65% of children being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and you should know that.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, and
Oh,
it's chronic. And I mean, I have family members, sister, and she lost a toe and all that kind of thing. So again, but it's making that change,
yeah.
because every time I talk to people with that particular lifestyle disease, which is diabetes, you know, and they say, well, gosh, I know I should meet him. They say, but it's hard for me to give up this,
Yeah.
and it just there's a heavy price to pay, and I
I've,
just find
I've seen it for myself. I saw a relative.
serious.
It's a bag of tablets, and he sit down with
Sure.
bucket of mango, and he suck every mango in the bucket and then sticky insulin.
Wow.
You know,
I
it's like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, that boy.
I just can't understand. I mean, it's mine, and that's why I often say it's mind, body, and soul. Doesn't matter what I preach, when I go to the gym, exercise, and good as that may be, and I could be motivated, and you could be motivated when you're talking, but that mental shift, I think that's the challenge there
Very
for
hard.
people like you, people like me. I mean, we're not going to stop, but if you so have to have that mango, you know, and it's like I I said this on a podcast. I can't remember so long, but usually when people go by the doctor to check their vital, like, and they realize, hey, doctor, you're you have traces of diabetes or whatever. You need to slow down this, but stop eat this, stop eat that, but take this pill until you balance yourself. People just rather not change their eating habit and take the pill for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
I recognize that,
yeah. I've
you
seen
know.
it.
Yeah, so I
It's a
just
lazy mentality.
it
Oh yeah,
is.
you put the pill on, or you stick a insulin and you're good to go.
Yeah,
Life goes on.
I seen it right through. I mean, I said to one of my sisters, like big sisters, like I said, but you should be eating that. Oh gosh, just a piece of cake. Oh gosh, yeah, I know, but I could eat, So I think it's, I often say this, we just talk about generational curse and this and that. May or may not be true. But what I believe in is that generational passing on bad eating habits
Hmm.
that pass on intergenerations. So, for instance, our grandparents might have had, their dad might have been, a lot of starch on a Sunday, as you know,
Hmm.
is macaroni pies, rice, is callaloo, is potatoes, fig, is. I think our culture, the Sunday dish that we grew up
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
right? Grew up seeing, right?
Hmm.
And grandparents used to do it, great grandparents used to do it, grandparents, our mother, parents, and
Hmm.
then we now started doing it. But then, the world open up now, and we know that we don't need all that starch on a plate.
But I think you say it's generation, but I think as an adult, even though you
Mm.
grew up doing that, as an adult, when now that we have social media and everything, and you know better than your grandparents, you could do better, right?
Yes.
Yes, I don't think it's a generation thing. I just think that people just don't care sometimes. They just
What
don't care.
what what I said, when I mentioned the generation, I mean, as you rightly said, it comes down, and it's okay because your grandparents didn't know. But
Hmm.
as I said, which I often say to people, we know now because of the whole open up social media, and we know the
We're more
dangers, and
educated.
we're more
Yeah,
educated. We know the
yeah.
danger in canola oil and all them oil that not adding value to your health. We know the
Hmm.
difference, right? But if we have a choice, it doesn't matter
Exactly.
what our grandparents did and our parents did. We have a choice to say, what. That's why I mentioned about break generation curse in the sense where lifestyle is concerned. Let's call it a lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? And so we could say, what, it's stuck with me, so which means my children not going to take up that same
Hmm.
habit because I'm aware now in this generation that some of these items, some of this food is not good for us.
Yeah.
And if you could cut back and cut down, at least will put us in a better position down the road. And that's what it is. And
Hmm.
I just often encourage people to start cutting back. It's easier to start cutting back than saying, what, I'm going to stop eating this. I eating
Yeah.
this for 20, 30 years. It doesn't work like that.
It's everything in moderation.
It's everything in moderation, and that
Moderation.
and
Yes.
that's and that's what I preach.
Hmm.
So conversation like this is critical, and that's what it's like that. Doctors and nutritionists and these people on the platform, because the
Yeah.
conversation is usually go like this, and people can actually see. And I usually get people coming up to me and say, "Hey, nice program, good guest, give me the number," that kind of thing, which is,
Hmm.
and this is exactly what I want from my platform, apart from magazine and all of that. I want people to say, what, I go in on Facebook, this guy, that platform, I must see a guest that has some service that I really, really want. So
Hmm.
tonight, you actually are the first, and I don't think I will have someone else coming with that kind of service anytime soon. But
You never know.
well, you never
Somebody might be
know.
listening and be like, hey.
Hmm. Nah, they gonna rush it. I think you have to have the love
Yeah.
that you have and the passion for it. I think you have to, first and foremost, before you could really get into a business or a service like that, you had to love what you do. And clearly, you love what you do. I can tell, and because I know you still have a job somewhere, and then you're doing this. So I know you're burning that candle on
Yeah.
both ends. So the passion had to keep you, because when you have a job and you're trying to build your passion, it usually take time, and I doing it, so I know the drain is come out of that. So I must applaud you for doing it, because again, when I met you, you down that health fair thing, and whole day there, right? Whole day there, and I'm pretty
It
sure.
was fun though, it was fun.
Yeah. It was fun.
The nice
I
thing was seeing the long lines coming to our table because people were so intrigued. I was like, what is this? And we didn't know Trinidad have this. And it really was a good feeling to see how
yeah.
people were so interested in this service. And yeah, it
To
was a
to
platform.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I think to have an idea from when you had an idea of thought of what you want to do, to that day you now mentioned there of
Hmm.
having a being at that fair, that health fair, and you see that line up to come to talk to you for the
Hmm.
service that you started a few years ago, because it came to you as a thought, right? God might have give you that thought in your head to do
Hmm.
that, and to see now that people actually coming to find out about that, and they say, hey, they know that it's in Trinidad. I mean, how you felt when you was hearing those kind of statements?
It was really a good feeling. I'm not gonna lie. You remember how much
Yeah,
time we were trying to talk and people were just coming up and inviting
yeah,
us? Yeah.
yeah. I remember that well. I was
I
like,
was really surprised. You even saw the shock on my face too. And it's like, I was
yeah,
really surprised, yeah. Because it had so many other booths and they were really coming to us and, bombarding us with questions. And people even did their blood test on that day too. Yeah.
serious?
Yeah. I had
Okay.
customers that day. They sat right there and got their blood taken.
No,
Yeah.
that's really, really good. And that is why it's so important to be in all those health fairs and all those pop up all over Trinidad, because it's have a lot. It's just like your services should be free, because I know the charges not like that, but like this pop up place all over. I know they charge vendors a certain amount of money to present, but what you provide is a service. You're actually selling a particular
Yeah.
product. So it's important to be. I just get invited to a couple, so I guess you and I will have a conversation. So
Mm,
when I get invited to, because I just get invited to be for free, right? I will, let you come and piggyback on me to do your thing, because that is a really wonderful service. And just like the persons who asked you that, I never thought we have the service in Trinidad, so kudos to you. And I pray, and I wish 2026, the good God could bless you, bless the services, bless your business, give you the health and strength to prosper in the business, and may you get all the customers that you really need to blow up that business to be a fruitful business in the country, because I know people need it. I
mhm.
know people need it, desperately need it. And I hope God give you that doorway, open that doorway for you. All right. Fortress Fitness team, I and my team will support you in whatever way that you want, in that we can. And my platform is your platform. Uh, my magazine is always free to put an article on it, because it go that magazine is go places.
Yeah.
Um, and my symposium, you'll always be invited to come. Right. Next one's supposed to be, I think it's Claxton Bay next year,
Okay.
and definitely I'm going to call you, and we're going to continue to spread the word of wellness, about gentle touch, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Services, and that kind of service in Trinidad and Tobago. So, um, before we look to head out, is there anything that you want to say? Anybody you want to just, thanks to, anything, that the floor is yours.
Well, I want to tell people that they have options, right? So You don't need to go to the labs or to go to the health center, the hospital. You have an option right here. I could come to you, right? Early detection is the key. So make sure and take care of your health, and this is one of the steps in doing so. Get your blood taken. I get your blood tested. Gentle Touch is here to make healthcare accessible to you, and we want to give this service, so please reach out to us. Right? Our number is 4806725. You can call, you can also WhatsApp us at 3531656. All right, and we're also on all social media platforms. Just type in Gentle Touch, mobile phlebotomy, Gentle Touch Lab Services. You can reach out to us. I want to thank you, most importantly, for giving me this platform. Right, marketing here, advertising here. Love it.
My platform is yours. Do what you want.
And I can't wait for us to do some more health fairs together and get this business running and get people healthy in Trinidad. Get them to
Yes. Yes.
come out and do their testing and take care of their health. Your health is
Yes.
well, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you don't have it, what's going to happen? You're lying down out there and then what? So,
Hmm.
right. So thank you so much for everything, Victor. You know how scared I was for this, but
Yeah, but you did good, and you did good, and also
yeah,
I want to say that you know, your business, the General Touch Services, you had the right personality in closing. You had the right personality. You had the right face. So people, it's better her than a man coming to draw that blood. Let's be
come
real.
on.
Yeah, I mean, you see a strong one like me coming. It's like, man, where you going? Look at that face. Look
But
at
I
that smile. You look at that face and that smile. I will gladly give. I can say, you know what, take an extra pint.
never two hand.
I say, no, the 2 hands is yours. Take an extra pint. So I think you are the personality, and I met you. So I'm saying that, confident because you have the personality, and Gentle Touch actually is you as a whole person. And I'm just say thanks for making the time. Thanks for putting aside this hour on this Friday night because I know it's Christmas season. Everybody has something to do, and thanks for making this episode a success as always, and thanks for being a part of the movement of wellness and encouraging people to take care of health and let them know that what, without health there is no wealth, because wealth cannot replace health. So thanks again for coming on the program, and we have a lot to do in 2026. And yes, we going to move mountains where health and wellness is considered in Trinidad because we have to help our people. All right, we can't turn our back on them because they really need the information and they need the services. Yeah. So again, thank you again for coming. Have a blessed night. Have a wonderful weekend. May God richly bless you and your family. Keep you safe. And we are going to see you again soon.
Yes.
So have a blessed night.
Night,
Yes.
Victor. Take care.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye.